Hey guys, so in this video I wanted to talk about my biggest piece of advice for anyone who is considering having any sort of weight loss surgery, whether it is gastric sleeve, the duodenal switch, gastric bypass, whatever the case may be. I want to give you this piece of advice because it is something that I wish I had known myself. So one thing I will say is if you want to go out, like if you feel the urge prior to surgery to go out and buy all sorts of foods and like protein shakes and things like that, please don't. So I bought a shit ton of protein shakes, Premier Protein and Quest. And like I said, I bought all of these protein shakes. I bought like a whole bunch of broths and soups and like things that I knew that I was going to be able to have. And let me tell you something, okay? If you get nothing else from this video other than this one tip, please don't. Because for one, your tastes change following this surgery. Like after I had this surgery, everything to me was super sweet tasting, like overly sweet, almost like obnoxiously sweet. And so I would say don't go out and buy tons and tons of things. Also, as you move through the process, like you have to remember that you are eating quite a bit less, especially after surgery. Like obviously the pre-op diet is limited, but after surgery, you're eating like tiny, tiny portions. And like, especially even once you transition to the puree diet, you switch to like being able to have a quarter cup of a serving of something. So keep that in mind because like when I was shopping for the puree diet, I bought all kinds of stuff. I bought cottage cheese. I bought 2 things of ricotta cheese. I bought, a whole bunch of stuff. And I believe I showed it like on a grocery haul when I switched to the puree diet. And I have not used all of that stuff up. And that has been a while since I filmed that video. Like thankfully, stuff that I bought is something that I can use even in the future, and it's not just going to go bad right away. But there is so many things, like don't go out and buy a whole lot of food. Like I said, even when you are post-op, don't go out and buy a whole bunch of food because you are very restricted on what you're able to eat physically. Like, yeah, you could go and eat a whole bunch of crap, but physically your stomach is smaller. Like especially I'm talking from a gastric sleeve standpoint because that is the surgery that I had. So your stomach is smaller and you have to realize that regardless of the amount of groceries, you can only consume so much. Like I still haven't gone through that whole thing of cottage cheese. I'm getting towards the bottom where I will need to buy some more soon, but like ricotta cheese, it took me 2 weeks to use one container. And part of that was because, I wasn't making a recipe that had ricotta cheese in it. But, you just have to keep these things in mind. This is like my biggest tip ever, is not to go out and buy a whole bunch of things because you are going to be sad in the end because you're going to see just how much food gets left over. You're going to see how many leftovers you actually have. And there are people who are much farther along in the process than I am. Like I am, this week, I'm at my 1 month post-op mark in my journey of gastric sleeve. And so, I'm just realizing all of these things now. Like I wish somebody had told me not to go out and buy all of these things and not to go overboard because I have a ton of stuff in the fridge. And not only that, but I have a ton of containers full of my little quarter cup servings because, once I get like 4 or 5 empty containers, I like to make another recipe so then I have food that I can just go in the fridge and I can grab something and eat it. And I don't have to worry about like making more servings and things like that. So like I wish I was at home right now so I could show you just how full the fridge is of like things that I bought to make on this puree phase of the diet. Things that I bought, you know, like fruit that I bought to make protein shakes, I really need to either freeze my blueberries that I got at Meijer or like use them up. And I really need to like cut up the strawberries that I got from Meijer and freeze them because I know I'm not going to be able to use them anytime soon. So basically what I want to do is, maybe I'll do that tonight when I get home. I'm going to try to figure out what I want to do with all of those. But yeah, maybe I'll make a video and show you guys like just how much is left over, and try to figure out a way to fix all of that stuff so that it doesn't go to waste, because there is a lot in the fridge that is definitely on its way to being wasted. Sorry, I have a notification on my watch. My blood sugar. But yeah, definitely make sure that you are not going overboard. Don't buy a whole bunch of stuff because it's not going to do you any good to buy all these things and then have them go to waste in the fridge. So that is my biggest tip for anybody who is going to have this surgery or considering this surgery. Do not run out before surgery and buy a whole bunch of protein shakes and the protein waters, because you don't know what your taste buds are going to like after surgery. You don't know what you're going to be able to tolerate. Go out and buy maybe a couple of different ones to try, but don't go out and buy like 12 packs. What I bought was a few different 4-packs of different flavors so that I could try them and see which ones I could tolerate and which ones I enjoyed. And then once I did that, you know, I just kind of took it from there. And yeah. So anyways, I still need to figure out how to limit things. You know, like buying things, because like I said, I am still learning, and this whole process is a learning process, and I feel like I'm still going to continue to learn at every single phase of this process. And I can't wait to see what comes next in the eating process, because like right now I am on the puree diet. I've been on the puree diet for a few weeks, and I will continue to be on the puree diet for like a little less than 2 more weeks. But I'm also kind of nervous because that means a whole new set of guidelines and trying to figure out what I'm allowed to have and what I'm not allowed to have. And like, it seems like I just get used to one thing and then something else comes up and I'm allowed to have other things. So it's frustrating. But anyways, that is it for today's video. I will talk to you guys in my next video. But if you guys have any questions in the meantime, be sure to let me know. If there is any topics you would like me to discuss on my channel in the future, like about weight loss surgery, my experience. I also work in healthcare as a medical assistant. I am also a certified phlebotomist. I do have a CNA certification. And I have done sleep tech training. So just let me know if there's any information you guys would like, any questions, things like that. I'd be glad to share my story and my thoughts with you guys. And yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys next time.